Hear me out. A lot of us know and love Batman. How he has no superpowers, yet he is able to take on crime-fighting villains and always able to win with the best gadgets that he always invents through his company Wayne Enterprises. Yet most people don't have a clue. But what if Batman really existed? How would things really be for the Dark Knight? Would he be a hero everyone loves and villains fear? Or would he be a villain? Well, if Batman really did exist, no doubt that he would be a hero that everyone would love and try to imitate.
What gives you the right? What's the difference between you and me?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
But after careful study, Batman would no doubt be a fugitive that the government would be trying to capture. Hear me out. Thank you. No doubt there are plenty of Batman fans out there, so you are probably asking how Batman would be a fugitive. But before we get on with this episode, please remember to hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos such as this if you enjoy. Let's get to it. Batman many times has destroyed the city or property. The city of Gotham, or the state which Gotham is in, which I believe is New York. Who knows? It's probably in Springfield where the Simpsons live. Either way, the state would hold Batman accountable for numerous acts of destruction of property and trying to arrest and charge him with these destructions. Now, I know many are going to hate this one, but it is against the law in many, probably all states, to engage in physical acts if you had the chance to run away. However, if it is for self-defense, then you can engage in physical acts. But there's a catch. There's always a catch. If you had the chance to run away, but you decided to engage, even if it's self-defense, but you still have the chance to run away, if you still engaged, you are still held accountable. The reason you are held accountable, even though you are still defending yourself, you did have a chance to run away, but you did not take it. Instead, you engaged in physical acts, which then you yourself could be held accountable. Batman definitely would be charged with this. A perfect example of this is in The Dark Knight, when Joker comes and is looking for Harvey Dent.
We are tonight's entertainment. I only have one question. Where is Harvey Dent?
Batman had the chance to escape, however he decided to show up and fight. And if Batman was in court, no doubt a lawyer would be charging Batman with endangering his life, endangering all the people's lives that were around him.
A little fight in you. I like that.
And you're gonna love me.
Rather than letting the cops come and stop the Joker. And that's no joke too. Ask any lawyer. They will say that that is correct. If you have the chance to run, but you do not take it, even if it's for self-defense, if you have the chance to run, you are held accountable. Batman always has a habit of flying or gliding. In the first Batman movie, we see him with his awesome bat jet. And in The Dark Knight, jumping off rooftops and gliding around Hong Kong. Now, I'm not sure if Hong Kong would have this law, but something is telling me they would. China is very strict with their laws. However, Batman flying around or gliding, the United States government for sure would feel this is a violation of airspace, as Batman would be interfering with air traffic and also pose danger flying around the sky. The United States government not knowing if he would or could suddenly attack a city. No doubt he would be having military jets flying after him, as Batman would be on his way to fight the Joker. In the movie The Dark Knight, Batman travels to Hong Kong and kidnaps Lau to bring him back to the US. However, this would be a form of kidnapping, and not only that, the Chinese government would be hunting for Batman as well. It would be looked upon as an invasion, Batman invading their country and kidnapping one of their civilians, perhaps bringing war between China and US until Batman is brought to justice. Thanks a lot, Batman. Now we're all going to have to be drafted. Again, something that prosecutor, cops, and even his top villains would blame Batman for doing is torturing, which Batman has been known to do.
Hey!
Where's Kronos? My arm's getting tired. I can't believe I was ever that green. This is how you interrogate someone.
When he was interrogating the Joker and slammed the Joker's head on the desk, many would consider that being a form of torture.
Never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy.
Many of the criminals that the cops find who got their asses kicked by Batman, many would consider Batman tortured them, and of course he would have a warrant out for his arrest. Again, if you don't believe me, ask a lawyer. They would say that this is definitely a form of torture. This kind of goes back to the first one of destruction of property. Reckless endangerment is an individual that creates a substantial rise of damage to property of another person exceeding $250. And as we see that a lot in the Batman movies. Now I know that scene in Batman Returns where the cops are chasing him and they crash into one another. I don't blame that on Batman. It's the cops' fault. They're going too fast. They crash into each other. They shouldn't even been chasing after him. But come on, who do you think they're going to pin that on? And here's a bonus. Not only would Batman be a criminal, but many who helped and assisted Batman would be considered dangerous and criminals. One of the top people I think would be held accountable is Commissioner Gordon. Mainly, they would arrest Commissioner Gordon for helping and assisting Batman and not turning Batman over when he had multiple chances to. Such as, in The Dark Knight, when Batman was interrogating the Joker, the Gotham police had the Joker and Batman in custody. All they had to do was call the FBI or CIA and tell them that they had both the Joker and Batman in custody. But they failed to do this. Commissioner Gordon, without a doubt, would be arrested for allowing Batman to escape.
Which one you going after?
Rachel.
Commissioner Gordon had the ability to hand Batman over to the federal government at any time he wanted. All he had to do is call the FBI, have them hide and wait for Batman as he turned the bat signal on, and Batman would come. And that's when the FBI make their move. Because Gordon did not do this, he would be arrested for conspiring with Batman and not handing him over. Hold on, you may ask, well, why don't the federal government just do it? Why don't they just go to the bat signal, turn it on, hide, wait for Batman, and arrest him? That's a good question. I mean, in Batman Forever, Dr. Chase Meridian had enough common sense to use the bat signal to summon Batman. Also Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. Okay, so let's say that the federal government finally realized in this Batman universe that they could use the bat signal to call Batman, and he would come and then they could arrest him. Well, there's a problem. Commissioner Gordon destroyed the bat signal, which would make him accountable for aiding and helping Batman. Which, this would make it much harder for the federal government to find Batman. Now, I'm not an expert on this, but I believe I have the general idea how it works. People work, then they pay taxes. Some of those tax dollars goes to the city and state police, who help patrol and protect the citizens of that state and city. However, the police of Gotham would be guilty of wasting tax dollars, not protecting the citizens of Gotham. A perfect example is in Batman Forever.
He's not coming. Shut it down. Wait a minute! Wait a minute!
You see? Why is Commissioner Gordon just sitting there waiting for Batman? Why isn't he having his cops and patrol looking for Riddler and Two-Face? He's just sitting there waiting for Batman to do the job. Perfect example about wasting taxpayers' money. It actually makes sense why Commissioner Gordon is laughing and shaking the cop's hand. He's not laughing because Batman is going to save the day. He's laughing because he gets paid to do nothing. The federal government no doubt would step in and see why Batman is doing what he's doing. He still would be wanted by the federal government. But it would be clear why Batman is, well, Batman. However, the federal government without a doubt would arrest and put on trial a lot of Gotham cops, Commissioner Gordon, the mayor of Gotham, maybe even the governor of the state. After all the cops were arrested and tried by the federal government, no doubt the federal government would step in on handling crime in Gotham. One of their first priorities would be catching Batman. After the feds caught all of Batman's villains, along with other superhero villains, the feds would without a doubt negotiate a deal with all of the villains, creating the Suicide Squad, to help the federal government capture Batman, along with other heroes. Something the Suicide Squad would no doubt agree to.
What's that crap on your face? Is it wash off?
If you like a girl, can you light her cigarette with your pinky? Because that would be real classy.
Hey, y'all might want to leave old boy alone. He could torch this whole joint. Ain't that right, I say?
You got nothing to worry about from me. I'm cool, homie.
And that's what would happen if Batman was actually real. What are your thoughts? You agree? You disagree? You have any other ideas that I didn't mention? And would you like me to do any other videos on any other superheroes on how it might be? If so, leave them in the comments below. I would like to hear from everyone, see what your opinions are. And if you enjoyed this video, please share. I'm Rawson21, and I will see you all again